Hello everyone, welcome to the first TYP live chat. So I'm very happy that today we have a special guest who is Federico. It's really wonderful to have him join us because he is one of my first friends on from who I got a lot of help and inspiration. As I said in the advertisement, he has a very interesting double life. So Federico, would you like to introduce yourself and say hi to everyone?
Hey, my name is Federico Brauer. I'm currently on travel. That's why I'm sitting here in a city where it's also my first time here. And it's also my first time being live on Instagram as well. So it's quite exciting. Thank you very much for your invitation.
Yeah, I'm really happy that we do this together. Yeah, we can hear you and thank you. As I said, I'm really curious, how you manage this double life as a medical university student, which is already sounds very overwhelming. And at the same time, you're collecting art and you also started to curate a different art exhibition. Maybe you can tell us a bit about how you manage this, doing these things in parallel with all your energy.
So at the moment, it's quite difficult. I'm working in a hospital in ICU care. It's intensive care unit. And yeah, I have to do around 40 hours per week, which is quite a lot. But I get energy in the field of art. So when I see art or communicate with artists or other collectors, it's about more like feeling free in it, or it's like free time. It's like a hobby, but it's also more like a hobby as well. It's difficult to
Yeah.
explain, but mainly in my free time, I continue my art journey, I would say.
Yeah, I would imagine. And actually that's why I wanted to do these live chats because when you first reach out to me, I was like, oh, I'm not alone. There are people who have their own professions or other jobs and at the same time pursuing art as a hobby or with all their passion in the spare time. That's why I want to do these live chats and show people, that you're not alone. Art is for everyone and everyone can participate and enjoy. You don't have to do art study, being an artist or learning, having a diploma or whatever in art history. But I'm just curious, how did all this start? Do you still remember your first encounter with art? Like first time you see a painting or maybe from your family?
So I don't remember the first time because I grew up surrounded with art as well, with my family. We have quite some art pieces in our rooms, in our homes. So by growing up, I was always aware of the art on the wall or the sculptures as well. And also my parents brought me in every museum they could visit. So it's like conditioning your child to
Yeah.
approach art directly.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I would imagine. Wow, that's fantastic. I mean, you're lucky to, grow up in already an art environment and you get all those passions shared from your parents. It's really great that you can share this, among and now you bring it to more and more people. That's really fantastic.
it is, but it's also quite strange because my sister has a very similar upbringing like me, but she's
Yeah.
not interested in art or culture at all.
Yeah,
She's more,
I would
she's more
imagine.
interested in beauty and fashion and cars and stuff like that.
Yeah, you told me, yeah, you told me once, yeah. I guess it depends because I also have friends, whose parents are passionate for art and took them to every museums. And they were like, we had so much when we were child. So now I'm grown up. I just want to do this again because I had enough. But I guess for you, art really changed your life. And you've been doing so many things. I know you started to curate exhibitions, you met artists. Is there any interesting story that you would like to tell us, like one of the most memorable ones for you?
Yeah, there's one. I met a really great friend of mine at his museum show in Hanover, the city where I'm studying right now. And he has a show, and I approached him and asked him about his drawings and paintings, and he gave me a private tour, basically. And since then, we grew really close together, and I'm working for him as well. I love his paintings. Those are the flower paintings, basically. Very modern, but also classical flower paintings in watercolor. Yeah, and he's basically my art mentor as well. He's much older, much more experienced, and very deep in the art world, and he knows what good art is. He's a really great eye for and teaches me to differentiate between good art and also like bad art. And I'm also more interested into contemporary art, which
Yeah,
might go into the museums in the future.
yeah, yeah. I think it's interesting that you mentioned, with this friend, and that's really my feeling today, because with internet we can see so many artworks, but the physical contact, the social contact is still super important. That's
It
why
is.
you're always on the road. I think you're never at home on the weekend, or even today, like you're on your way to Prague. It's really like when you meet the artists, because I had from my own experience met a couple of street artists in Bangkok. I did not know them before at all. But when you started to talk and then they hand you over some drinks, a beer, it feels like your friends, and they tell you about the stories, life stories behind their artwork. And I find that's really the interesting part for contemporary art, because these are living things. And what I really appreciate is what you do is, exploring the young artists to try to support them. And they gonna be the talent, like the masters in future. It's really you being participator of the history, and I find that's fantastic. That's why you remind me of Dr. Barnes, the famous founder of the Barnes Foundation, who arrived in Paris, and because I love Sutin, the French or Russian French artist, and it was thanks to Dr. Barnes that he got really discovered. So I sort of like see you in a bit this role. I know there's a long way to go, but it's I know it's not. However, it's not easy for this young artist to strike through. Do you have the same impression? I mean, one side we have internet. It's easy to advertise your artwork by Instagram, but at the other side, is it still hard to break into the community? Mm.
It is like Instagram is a really great source to explore and also find new art and artists, but it's also difficult in the same way because there's so much like bad art out there, or like copy from another copy, and we need to be aware of it and to select it more. Like we need to know, or we have to learn how to pick artists which are really great in technique and also like in composition,
Yeah.
but also very like specific individuals. So if you see a work by them, you immediately recognize that's a work of art by this person, and not like a copy from it could be like from 10 persons. You need to
Um,
find, for example, you can recognize a painting by Gerd Richter or Sigmar Polke immediately. When you see it, you know, okay, this is this name behind this painting.
yeah.
And if you have like a pop art painting in front of you, which reminds of us at another artist, but it's not. That's difficult. That where I say that is too much resembling another type of art. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I explained it well enough.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think because usually when we see, for these days, like the big name, the important contemporary artists like David Hockney or Alex Kars or
Yeah.
Kiefer, once you see their, it's their works. But I think maybe the challenge is also they were young artists too, and their style evolved a little by little. I think I guess for you, the most challenging and interesting part is how to identify the talent and something special, like you said, is a special talent behind that. Actually, they remind me, of Manet, as we all know from the 19th century. He tried so many times to exhibit at the salons and was always rejected and got criticized. But he
Yeah.
got inspired. Many of his works were inspired by Goya, by Velasquez, and today we see them as, like masterpieces. So I guess in your journey, you're doing sort of the same thing to support the artists have their own signature, own style, which also need time to forge. Because what
It
impressed me is actually I think it's almost 3 years that we knew each other. And I
is.
saw the collections that you have been done. And next time it will be great for you to show us your collections, I think. But I think that the art is really something that takes time and you need to be patient. You need to have confidence in the artist that you believe in. It's really a lot of investment in time. So that's my impression.
It is. Unfortunately, I'm not at home where my art is as well. So I can't show you some of my favorite pieces from my collection at the moment. But I can do that from the next time.
Yeah, that will be great. So before I let you go, because I know you have a busy schedule,
It is
is there
fine.
any advice you have for our audience? How to approach contemporary art. So from my side, I still remember for a very long time I was afraid to go into an art gallery. It looks so fancy and it's like a different world. But during the lockdown, all the museums were closed and there was art galleries, and you recommended me to a couple of ones, and that's really my start to went to the art galleries. And now I'm sort of addicted to that because there are so many new things to discover. And to be honest, the art galleries that you recommended to me, they were really great. I remember the first time I visited, I was like, oh, that's the artist I really like. So yeah, thank you again for that. That's why I started to write my series, Follow Me to Art Galleries. And maybe you have any suggestions or advice for our audience to enjoy contemporary art?
Just look around your hometown or the town you are in, or the town you are visiting as well. If they have good museums and also galleries. I mean, in the bigger city, it's more easy to find a good gallery. For example, like Paris is full of big name galleries,
Yeah,
which
I'm
I
looking
would
to be in
love to
Paris.
see someday. Yeah, and I'm quite often in Berlin. I have many artist friends in Berlin, so I'm visiting Berlin quite often. And I already know which galleries I like and also which museums I like, and I visit them quite often. Not every time when I'm in Berlin, but every now and then. And that's what you should do as well. Like, you have a gallery you like, visit them, pay a visit to the gallery more than just once a year. So, and then also like speak to the gallerist or the assistant or the artist who is exhibiting there, so that they get to know you, or you get more information from the show, from the artworks. Just talk about art. Anyone can do that. You don't need to have a art background to talk about art. Everyone can talk about art. It's already a good approach to see art with your own emotions, with your own memories, and then
Yeah,
connect that to other your personal instincts, to the art, and then also the surroundings, and then reality, the life, the world we live in. That's really good, and artists really love to talk about their art mostly. Some
Yeah.
artists, yeah, I know some artists are like, oh, the art piece should talk for itself.
Yeah, exactly. They will say all my things are in my work, just to look at you and understand. So, because I
Yeah,
know some artists still like that, and but indeed, yeah, I think we need to talk more with the
okay.
gallerists, with the others who are looking at this, artworks, and then get exchange with the idea, because
Yeah,
everyone sees different things, and I think that's how we can, get deeper and understand, and also make the connection. I think in the end, I
yeah,
always feel art is all about sharing, right? It's
it
what
is.
you see, the other see, and that's how we can, get deeper and happier.
Also, the job of a gallerist is not only just selling art. It's more about, or like a good gallerist should do that. It's about getting the art to the people, like
Yeah.
getting the art out there and make the connections to the people, not just selling. If a gallerist is just about selling stuff, that's also quite a little bit difficult. It would be um, too superficial to be for me, for my liking.
Um,
Also, there I can see if the gallerist understands what he is like trying to sell or what he is showing us.
yeah. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. So, yeah, so for our audience, maybe one advice is when you go to a gallery, talk to the gallerist or the people there. You
Yeah,
can feel directly, is he passionate about exchange and telling the stories behind?
yeah,
And don't feel like, I don't have the money, because I think that's what scares most of the people. Like, I'm not rich at all. I can't afford, even a corner of the paintings or artwork there. But
yeah,
if the gallery is open-minded and happy to tell you, exchange with you, then that's really a good indication you're
it
probably in a
is.
nice gallery and you can go further. I mean, in the end, I know you did a lot, and you raise your art collection, which may not be, the purpose or hard for some others, but after all, we can all enjoy it, and
Yeah,
as you
it's,
see,
it's about
to be seen.
right, right. It's about enjoyment for art. It's about the interaction with art as well. So it's just more than just the monetary value behind an art piece.
Yeah,
So, and if you really like the show or like the artworks, you can purchase a catalog from it.
yeah,
So, and then in the catalog, it's also like more in-depth explanation or the journey of the artist itself, introduction of the artist. That's also very good to learn from. And then you can see with over time when you already got like a selection of catalogs in
yeah,
your possession, and then you can see already, okay, this is the direction which I like, and this is the gallery or the museum which I liked. Oh, this is the show I liked because of that, because of the curation, because of the art pieces shown there, or the explanation as well.
yeah,
So
yeah,
catalogs
I see.
are really fine.
Actually, you have a very structured approach. Get to see more experience and then come back and think and reflect and summarize. It's very I like your approach. No, but definitely I think there are all kind of ways that we can support artists, because we need to know that for the artists, right, they make a living out of their art. They put their heart, they put time, energy into it. So there's definitely a price, but we can support them in different ways, whether, like you say, by artworks, prints, or catalogs, or even spread the name. That's all
Yeah,
the contribution that we can make to it. So
yeah,
it's really everyone, not only reserved to some of the rich community or
yes, it is.
yeah,
Also, I think for many artists, their journey already starts in university as well, when they are studying art. Most
yeah,
artists are studying art. Um, I like to support artists already at this stage. So, when you have a really young artist and you like his work and you see, okay, some other people are very interested into his or her works as well,
yeah,
then you might be thinking about buying some art pieces from them as well. Because at this stage, the artworks are not expensive. They are very quite affordable, and you have the chance that they go up in price, which is really good. Because
Yeah.
later on, you won't be able to afford them anymore, which happened in my case quite some times already.
Yeah, I remember the couple of discussions we had, like there are artists that we discover, but who's get really more and more renowned, and it's get harder. Yeah, but definitely no. I think there are so many things, like you said, it's art is really affordable and reachable for every one of us.
Yeah,
It's really great, to have your thoughts and hear about, it's fantastic. And I want to remind everyone, well, we have Federico. He is also a medical student, so he has other profession, but with his, the spare time that he managed to learn and explore so many things, and very generous to share with us. So, well, thank you again very much for being here. And let us schedule another session next time, so you can show us your collection. And we, I can't wait to see that.
yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you, and thanks everyone. Wish you all a lovely evening, afternoon, and wish to see you next time. Thank you, Federico. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.